Today's episode of The Mom Game is brought to you by our friends at Gateway Buick GMC at LBJ and Jupiter. I know that buying a car can be stressful, but not at Gateway because their slogan is Gateway's got it. And just what does that mean? Well, it means Gateway's got a wide selection of new Buicks, GMCs, and GM certified used vehicles, all competitively priced. Gateway's got it. In these busy times, you want a car dealer who makes things easy and convenient. Well, guess what? Gateway's got it. When you log on to gatewaybuickgmc.com, look for the Shop, Click, Drive button. This allows you to shop from the comfort of your home, and who doesn't want that? In fact, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. 1, select your vehicle. 2, create your offer. 3, schedule your delivery. And on top of all this, Gateway Buick GMC offers complimentary car washes for life. So when you want a dealer who has it all, Gateway's got it. You can find them online at gatewaybuickgmc.com or shop in person at LBJ and Jupiter. GMC, we are professional grade. Experience the new Buick. And welcome into another episode of The Mom Game. It is almost Christmas.
Almost Christmas. I feel like it has flown by.
It really has flown by. It's super. I'm in the enjoy it phase. The marathon has been run, like the legit.
Oh yeah, you actually ran.
I did
half marathon.
Half marathon. The half marathon is done. That has been like doming me out.
Yeah,
like it's always there. Like I don't know. It had been a long time since I did it.
How did it go though?
It went great. Okay. It went great. The BMW Dallas Marathon does a tremendous job. They're very good. Did you run
the whole time?
I did not walk. I jogged. I mean, I was a 10 and a half.
That doesn't matter.
10 and a half minute pace. But like, I kept hearing my sister in my head saying, if you walk, you're effed, because it's once you start walking, it's so hard to get. Like even when I would go to the water stations, I mean, I'm just like just pouring it on me and like spilling it everywhere. Like I can't breathe and. It's not attractive at all, but I was like, I've got to keep moving. Like I just can't stop.
Right. Oh my gosh. It'd be so easy to just just collapse.
Right. And so, so I made it and it was great. And it was a fabulous experience, being the last woman running.
There was a lot of attention on you.
There was
Were a lot of people like cheering for you and watching you.
I was very much in a zone. Apparently there were people, cause they told me later, like I was yelling at you and yelling your name. And I was like, sorry. But yeah, over $12,000 raised for Scottish Rite Children's Hospital. Thanks to the Do It for Durrett Foundation. They made a $2,500 donation on my behalf because they knew how domed out I was about not passing enough people and not raising enough money. And so shout out to the Do It for Durrett Foundation for doing that for me. So
Wait, one more marathon question.
Oh yeah.
What did you listen to? Like, because I feel like
you're going to die.
That's a long time to have to come up with music.
To Mark Elfenbein on the ticket.
What?
Yeah. And then listen to the first part of the Cowboys pregame show.
Really?
Yeah. But okay, so
because he was on
Saturday morning, and I didn't start till like 9, and so I listened to Elf.
Okay,
yeah.
Does he know that?
I don't know. But I rewinded the app, and then so it started back, and then I got into some Cowboys pregame, and
wow,
yeah,
interesting.
Because so every morning when I run, I listen to the ticket.
Okay, you're not listening to music.
I'm not. I mean, every once in a while, if it's like on a Sunday, I probably will. But like if there's a show to listen to on the ticket, I will listen to it.
Wow, look at this. She's a hardcore P1.
I know. I
love it.
So yeah,
you listen more than I do, I think.
I guarantee you I do. Yeah. I mean, my kids know stuff.
Everybody.
Oh yeah. Henry goes down the rundown all the time. He'll be like, okay, now for 5:30 to 10, those are the musers. Like he's all over it. It's hilarious.
That's awesome.
So yeah, but that's done.
Okay. Good job.
The presents are wrapped. They're under the tree. I'm done shopping. I did not do Christmas cards this year. I thought I might have some regret. I've gotten some backlash from some people, family members who won't be named.
Really?
Well, I mean, it's like joking backlash.
Okay.
They're like, we love to get your picture, and because I'm not like one of those. I mean, every once in a while I'll mix in a professional family photo, but usually my Christmas cards are kind of shit shows. Like it's like us, whatever. They're usually not. I mean, maybe every other year. So I kind of try to mix it up.
That's good.
So this year I decided I'm not even going to send them out. So, but I did want to do like some kind of Christmas card. I'll post it on social media. I will, send it to people who don't maybe get on social media. And so I'd like to share this right now with you.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I want to share it with you, and I want to share it with our listeners and I guess I'll share it with our viewers. So I'll send it to Ted so he can slap it in there. So this is our Christmas card. What do you think about it? Did you get it yet?
Let me see. Yes, it is. Oh, it's the Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch
from
Bigfoot.
The Mom Game. I heard about this on the Mom Game that Emily surprised and scared her kids with a Sasquatch.
Yeah, so I put on there.
I love it. And you wrote, how we feeling about 2022,
and look at Hattie's face. She looks terrified. So I figured
I love that.
This is a perfect kickoff to 20, because we don't know what the fuck's going to happen in 2022. So I think that we all kind of.
And you even have everybody's ages after their names, and you have Bigfoot. I don't know.
With a
nobody knows how old Bigfoot is.
And Henry did ask me, why did you not put your and Daddy's ages on there? And I'm like, nobody needs to know that.
Right. No, they just care about the kids.
Yeah, for sure. So
I think that's very well done. So you just posted that?
I'm not. I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, I'm ready. Like I'm festive. I'm holiday spirited up.
Good.
I'm not stressed. I'm feeling it. What about you?
I don't know if we can talk about. Can we talk about the big man?
Yeah.
Are anybody's kids listening?
If they are, they should stop.
Never mind. Let's just not. I don't want to ruin anything.
Okay.
Okay. I would. If I was responsible for anything terrible like that, then I would never forgive myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad that you're feeling good.
Yeah.
And y'all are staying here.
We're gonna go to Key West after Christmas, and I've never been to Key West, so I'm kind of excited about it.
My brother goes there a lot. He loves it.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
So what are you? Are holiday ready?
Getting there. Yeah, getting there. We are going to host at my house like we did for Thanksgiving, but this one's a lot bigger. So this one is, but it's just my best family. It's my family and I love them and we're all really close. So I don't worry about anything. That's part of the reason we bought my grandmother's house and we wanted to keep the house in the family. And a lot of it to me was wanting to carry on the tradition of having Christmas at our house.
That's awesome.
So when I bought the house, it was, I'm going to host Christmas forever, you know, as long as our family's gathering, then hopefully it'll be there. So we have our routines, we sit in this room and we all sit around in a circle and do presents, youngest to oldest. And it takes 3 hours and sit around the tree. And then, we have our queso on Christmas Eve and our chili. My aunt makes chili and saltine crackers and butter. Every holiday has butter somehow. But I'm just super excited for it. It's gonna be really fun. My cousins come in town, but this year is gonna be a little bit different and maybe a little bit more exciting. Because
it's going down.
It's going down. A while ago on this show, we debated, and I think I even did a poll of if I should get a cat or a dog.
For your kids.
For my kids.
Well, for your whole family.
For our family, yeah. Blueberry, my cat, passed away, I don't know, 6 months ago or something like that. And my kids have, like I told you, we have a space in our home and in our heart for a pet. So we were trying to decide what. Well, do we get a drum roll? We're getting a puppy. We're getting a puppy.
What kind of puppy?
She is an Australian Shepherd.
She is. Mm-hmm. Do you have a name for her yet?
I think so.
You have to let the kids name her.
Well, I tried to gauge what they might want to name her just by putting them in scenarios where they could name, whatever.
Okay.
And all I was getting was Barky or Ruffy.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
we went to take matters into your own hands.
We went ahead and made an executive decision.
Okay.
Plus, somebody that's way more knowledgeable than me on this breed of dog and puppies said if you can start calling it by its name, before, if the breeder can start calling it by its name, then that will help, So we just met her 2 days ago. We drove out. I found this lady on Craigslist, but she's a breeder for these Australian Shepherds. And we met her and it was everything I hoped it could be.
Oh my God.
I'm not a huge dog person. I don't like dogs. I like dogs. I don't know everything. But I did know that if I got there and I didn't feel it,
Right.
I don't know.
So how are you going to present this?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Dude, you can have so much fun with this.
I know.
And you better record it.
I'm going to record it. So
for the mom game.
Yes, for the mom game. So we did kind of, I think, decide that it'd be too hard to make it from Santa.
Yeah.
Because then you've got to kind of go with that forever.
Yeah.
That's until dicey. I'm like, there's way too much room for error there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be from us, but we're trying to decide if we still do it Christmas morning. Like that's the vision, right? It's like they come down Christmas morning and there's a puppy there. But logistically, that's pretty hard, especially because we do host Christmas Eve and there's going to be a lot of people there. And I don't know what I would do with the puppy that whole time.
Someone would have to be taking care of it for you.
Right. And that's a big ask.
It is. Puppies are a lot.
I know.
Are you prepared for this?
Emily.
The chewing.
Okay. So
the peeing.
I know.
All the stuff.
Okay. A couple things.
Okay.
I get a little bit defensive because everybody I know that I tell I'm getting a puppy is like, do you know? Are you ready? I'm like, everyone I know has a dog. I can do this.
I only say this because I forgot.
But then we
got a puppy. We got a puppy a couple years ago, and shit's real. Like I totally chewed up a couch. Like
I'm gonna have puppy stories.
Yeah.
I
mean, she just the other day she ate a doormat, like a welcome mat.
See, this is when it's gonna come into my favor that I don't have like a bunch of fancy shit that I care about. It's like my couch is like, everything's kind of like we have our kids stuff. Eventually I want to come in and like replace things, but I have little kids, so I'm not spending a ton of money on furniture right now or anything like that. Yeah. So, and I don't stress about things, as you know. So I feel like it'll be fine. The sleep, I want to be able to, I'm a little nervous about like the sleep thing.
I think you'll be fine.
Yeah. She said that
you'll love it. And the kids will love it.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
I'm so excited because I feel like they don't even think for whatever reason that it's possible for them to have a dog.
Yeah.
Because we've only had cats. Like they're not asking for a dog because I think they just think we can't have a dog. But yeah, they're going to flip out. And oh my God, she is so precious. She's so precious and sweet. Little Australian Shepherd. She's black, white, and brown. I think we're going to name her Belle.
Oh,
like Jingle
cute.
Bell. And it's going to, I think, be Belle without an E at the end. Just Belle.
Just Belle.
Because it's short for Jingle Bell. And we might get a little Belle. I ordered her like reindeer antlers. And so when we present her, she's going to have some clothes on and stuff. Because cute. Anna's randomly just started saying that she wants a reindeer for Christmas.
Oh.
I don't know what to do with my 3-year-old girl because she like doesn't ask for, she's like, I want a stuffy. Like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you're so sweet. Like I need to get her something. So I'm getting her a puppy.
There you go.
Yes.
Also I got a Squishmallow. That's
you got one?
I mean, not for me, for Hattie. But yeah, I thought it was a good gift.
Yeah. Those things are fun.
And that's so exciting. I'm so excited for you.
I'm going to be pretty obsessed. I feel like I'm going to have to bring the puppy into the show sometime.
I don't know that that's the best idea, but if you want to try it, we can definitely try it. We can definitely
just wait. You're going to want to see this little.
I know. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
So Christmas time is here. We've got a special guest coming up.
Santa?
It's not Santa.
Oh.
It's a doctor from our Baylor Scott and White, our official healthcare advisor of the mom game. And she's got some great stuff to share with us. We've got questions for her.
Yep.
But first, we need to talk about education.
We do. And one of our other good friends on the show is MSU Flower Mound. Midwestern State University in Flower Mound is here to help you complete that bachelor's degree you never finished. Maybe you're at a local community college, you're looking to transfer, or you just didn't finish college for whatever reason and you're realizing that you could really use a degree to further your career and therefore your life. Well, Midwestern State University in Flower Mound is here for you. This is about what all they can do. They can do a lot of things for you. Their degree programs are offered completely online, which is huge if you have a puppy, if you have little kids, if you have a job, and you just need to work this into your life wherever you can fit it in. They can make that happen. They offer programs in nursing, respiratory care, radiologic sciences, teacher education, human resources, and much more. You can complete your degree in as little as 3 semesters, up to 2 years. It really sounds pretty painless. So it's a no-brainer if you want to take that next step in your career. Their courses are offered online, but they also have a dedicated team and campus located in Flower Mound for all your in-person student services needs. If you head out there, you'd probably meet our friend Randy, who works out there on campus. It's a beautiful campus out in Flower Mound. So go check them out. Now is the time to enroll for Spring MSU Texas Flower Mound.
And you said next step. It's the next
That's
step.
right.
Well, that brings us to next step recruiting, which places direct hire, contract, and contract to hire candidates in various industries, including IT, finance and accounting, human resources, and administrative. They've got 3 offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, and Austin, supporting over 250 small to Fortune 100 companies across the United States. And one of our favorites at Next Step is Nikki Koyman. She is a year-over-year multi-million-dollar producer that is a mom to 3, wife and co-owner, as well as vice president of Next Step Recruiting, all while continuing to be ranked as one of, if not the best, business development professionals in the IT staffing industry. She's also super cool, super fun. She's a badass.
Yep.
Also, Next Step Recruiting continues to give back to their community through volunteering at local food banks, also sponsoring families at the holidays, and raising nearly $100,000 for my favorite charity, the Do It for Durrett Foundation, through their annual celebrity golf tournament.
They're good people.
They are great people. So Next Step Recruiting is continuing to grow and expand into new markets. Now is your opportunity to join this dynamic team from any of our listening areas. They operate on a 100% remote basis and are currently hiring for their recruiting and business development teams. So big shout out and a happy new year, Merry Christmas, happy holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever. Hanukkah's over. But anyway.
Yeah.
Just
Diwali.
Happy. Okay.
Writers
Happy
learning about
everything.
holidays around the world.
Happy
So therefore, I'm learning more about holidays around the world.
Happy everything to everyone.
There you go.
Including Next Step Recruiting. Yes.
Yes. And all of our sponsors. NSRUSA.
NSRUSA.com. All right. Okay. Now it's time.
We are so happy now to welcome in Dr. Andrea Palmer. She's an OBGYN at Baylor Scott and White, All Saints, Fort Worth. And Baylor Scott and White is, of course, the official medical advisor of the Mom Game. And I just love how this kind of organically evolved, because Emily and I talk about all kinds of things on this show. And so many times we're just kind of wondering this or that, or how does this work, or why do we do it this way when it comes to moms and women's health. So the way this all just kind of unfolded, where we have the opportunity to sit here with you today, is wonderful. First of all, thank you so much for coming.
Well, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've had my babies at Baylor Scott and White, All Saints in Fort Worth.
Yay.
And loved my experience there.
The best crew in town,
yes,
I will tell you.
Their
staff is phenomenal.
Everyone was fantastic. Seems like forever ago. And so I want to talk right now about kind of something. I'm just going to get some free medical advice here.
Go for it.
So I had a almost full hysterectomy. So
Same.
What do you have left? An
I don't have
ovary?
anything.
You got an ovary? I got an ovary. I got one ovary left.
Mm-hmm.
But I still am I going to go through menopause? I feel like I've been going through it lately.
Yeah.
What's happening with me?
So
There we go.
Right? If you still have an ovary, somewhere in there, it's going to continue to make hormones until some certain point in time.
Okay.
What you won't have, obviously, is like the loss of your menstrual cycle to tell when it's gone.
Right.
And so what we do is just go by your symptoms. Are you having hot flashes?
Oh my gosh, the night sweats are unbelievable.
Right. So a little estrogen would help you feel a lot better.
Okay.
That's what I have. I have a little patch.
Yeah. Oh, they're magic.
Yeah. It's easy.
Yeah. Stick it on, change it twice a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a ring.
So that, yes, that can help. So if it's just what we call the S ring or the fem ring, so a hormone replacement ring will help really good with the vaginal symptoms of menopause, which vaginal dryness, pain with intercourse, I always call that, like, I call hot flashes and night sweats like the Hallmark card symptoms. You know, that's the thing that everybody talks about.
Yes.
Everybody jokes about
But
on the
there's
sitcoms.
more to it.
But
Jokes
vaginal
about.
dryness is the symptom that you cannot escape in menopause. At some point, your vagina is going to turn on you. So,
Oh no!
right?
Why are you not uncomfortable with her saying vagina?
She's a doctor.
She is a doctor.
She can say it.
She just told you that your vagina is going to turn
Right,
on
I
you.
say vagina a lot.
Well, I bet you that's part of your job. Like to you, it's like saying anything.
It's like elbow, just
Right.
another body part. So,
Exactly, it is. And then
but yeah,
dorks
so
like
the-
us have to giggle. Sorry. Sorry.
so the vaginal ring can help a lot with those symptoms. It may not help as much with your what we call vasomotor symptoms, so the hot flashes and night sweats.
Yeah.
You may need a bigger systemic dose of estrogen. If that's
Okay.
the case.
Okay. Okay. So, what do we need to know about like current day situations? Obviously, the pandemic is out there.
Yeah.
The,
Not going
the
away.
variants,
Not.
all these kind of things. And I know there was, like my niece is in college and she has heard stories about the vaccine and it affecting fertility. And so she doesn't want to get it. Like for me, I'm like, well, my shit's old. I'm just going
Right.
to go ahead and poke me with whatever
Slug
you
me,
want. I don't
right?
care. Right. But like, I think for her, I understand her concern and
Right.
all that kind of stuff.
So, just like with every vaccine, there is a segment of the population that is very against any vaccine,
Right.
Whether it's the flu shot or your MMR or your COVID vaccine. So there is that segment of the population who I'm never going to convince to get a vaccine. And frankly, they're never going to convince me that their idea is better than mine.
Yeah.
So like we have to accept that like there's that segment of the population. From that segment is driven a lot of what in medicine we consider to be kind of like the anti-vaccine propaganda that's out there. So if the MMR vaccine causes autism, in quotes, that the HPV vaccine can cause harm to young women, when in studies and in data, we actually have never found that any of those things are accurate when you look at the scientific literature. And this infertility with the COVID vaccine is grouped in that same kind of myth of propaganda that is driven to, in my opinion, really kind of instill fear in people for getting the vaccine. The flip side of what I always think about, like if we had a vaccine that caused sterility, market that. Like label it.
Right. Be lots of people signing up for
people
it.
that are looking
like,
for
if
that.
I could make people not have babies anymore by giving them I mean, we have the depot injection, but like, you know what I mean? Like if I could sterilize somebody by a shot and not have to put them through surgery, and like the drug companies are, if nothing else, out to make money, they would market that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
if it truly did cause infertility and sterility, then hot dog,
Yeah.
they're going to sign up. And so the data behind it, the science behind it is, you know, kind of picking half truths from the mechanism of action and again trying to jump into the scare tactic, but it is not a thing. There's no association with infertility. I have pregnant patients in my office every day who were vaccinated prior and are now pregnant. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what, and like I said, I'm like, shoot me up, I don't care. Like if it helps this thing go away, I don't, whatever.
Yes.
And I do feel like I do feel a sense of protection because I am vaccinated.
Absolutely.
But whether or not, you know, if somebody wants to argue with me about that is, you know, here nor there. But the thing I do, I guess the question I have is for those who say, and I have the same question, like, how do you trust this when it's so new?
Sure. So the thing that I always go back to is that the vaccine, first of all, is not all that new. And the fact that the mRNA platform had been under development for years and using the platform that they used for the other like the H1N1 and like the other coronaviruses that have come out that have not necessarily hit the U.S. as an endemic thing. Like these have been studied for years. And when you look at vaccine side effects, there is really not a long-term vaccine side effect that's out there that has ever been proven from any kind of vaccine, whether it is an attenuated live virus or an mRNA. Side effects from like the vaccine is in your true system hours, days at most. And so, something happening 6 months after you get vaccinated from COVID, well, frankly, that's not the COVID vaccine. That's something else. Like,
right.
Like I got in a car wreck. Well, it's not the COVID vaccine's fault.
So what is mRNA?
So mRNA is part of our genetic code. As entities with genetics, we have DNA and we have RNA as part of our genetics. And the messenger RNA is what helps our body write a genetic code. And so there's no virus in the vaccine. When you look at, for example, the MMR vaccine, the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine that we all get as kids, a lot of us have to get boosted at some point in adulthood. That has what we call an attenuated virus in it. So there's actual viral particles in that vaccine. So that's one vaccine, for example, we don't give to pregnant women during pregnancy because we don't want to run the risk of them developing that virus. The initial smallpox vaccines were the same kind of thing. They gave you little inoculations of smallpox to build your immune response. So the mRNA vaccine, the technology is just fascinating. It gives little components of the virus's RNA in your body that your body then recognizes and starts writing a code to build antibodies against that.
Oh my gosh, this
Isn't
is
that crazy?
so...
It's mind-blowing. And I truly do think that in 10 or 15 years, flu shots, I think it's all going to be mRNA technology because the production is so much easier. When you look, there's a Netflix documentary about the egg industry that goes into making our worldwide distribution of flu shots. It's incredibly interesting. And if you ever have time to go, please go look for it. But the industry that goes into, because our flu vaccines are from egg protein. And so mRNA vaccines, you don't have to have all of that.
You don't have to have eggs.
Eggs, right? So you don't have to have the chickens that make the eggs.
Right.
And PETA should be all over promoting mRNA vaccines. But it's really, I think the technology is just astonishingly amazing that they can so quickly take a genetic code and make a vaccine to it. So I think when COVID gets to the point, as it is destined to do, and is already kind of on its way, that it mutates enough to get out of our vaccine protection, that we are going to start looking at annual boosters that will match kind of the current strand of it out there, and we'll likely probably all get vaccinated or recommended to be vaccinated against COVID annually with our flu. And with the mRNA platform, they're just going to be able to really quickly turn over that new latest strand of protection.
I have a lot of thoughts and questions. So just first of all, my whole stance on the whole thing. So I'm a breast cancer survivor, which is why I had to have the ovaries removed because I still have high risk for ovarian cancer. Yeah. And the whole time I was going through that process, I didn't know what was going on with my body. I didn't know what chemo was. Right. I didn't know what they were putting in the potions. My doctor called it. I had a wonderful oncologist at Baylor downtown, Cynthia Osborne. You might know her.
I do.
She's amazing.
Right.
And all I knew is that I was scared as shit. And I was going to trust the people that study this for their job and people that are a lot smarter than me. And that's why if someone's saying this here could save your life, and at that point I actually really needed it to save my life. Right. I'm going to shoot this in your body and you're going to lose your hair and all these things could happen to you, but it's going to hopefully save your life.
Right.
I did it. And you know what? It worked. It was a wonderful, I trusted the science. I trusted the doctors in that situation. I just imagine being a doctor right now. It's got to be a little frustrating. Even just listening to you talk, it's like you speak another language than most people. You guys study this, but at the same time, I know you probably see everybody's side, right?
Right.
But how do you deal with it?
We get the hesitation, we get the fear because there's so much misinformation out there. And I think every doctor's pet peeve is when somebody comes in and they go, well, I've done my research. And I always want to go, okay, well, you've Googled, right? You have searched.
Google is doctor's worst enemy these days.
I can honestly say I've never done research.
Because, research, did you run a randomized controlled study with a placebo arm? And no, you didn't research. you search.
Yes.
And while I love an educated patient, I also have my 15 years experience. And frankly, I'm not as smart as the immunologists who are making these vaccines. And I'm going to trust that they know more than me.
Right.
And so but there is a significant distrust that exists right now between medical professionals and our patients. You know, I'm an OBGYN, obviously, so I've had a lot of pregnant patients with COVID, but my friends and colleagues who work in the ER and in the medicine wards as hospitalists, you know, they have been berated by patients for not offering certain treatments that the patient has researched to be, you know, and
they won't let them drink
demanded.
bleach.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So they're not deworming them. They're trying to like save their lungs. And so, I mean, and just have, I mean, it's a beatdown.
Well, it's probably weird having the hot topic in the world for so long, going on years now.
We are not used to this.
Like you guys are at the center of it. It's not politics, you know,
No,
that's there too. But it's not like we all want to gang up on this prime minister.
Right.
But it's like, let's all like just come at doctors for Christ's sakes. You know, I mean, it's just a lot. I feel like for you guys probably to handle.
It's been a lot, and it's been a pretty traumatizing time for medical workers kind of overall.
Yeah.
And then, like, you know, the beginning of the pandemic, you know, everybody was all in and we were clapping for our first, you know, our frontline staff. And then the vaccine came out and we just have been begging people to get it and just basically been met with the middle finger by, like, you know, 30-40% of the population. And then these people get sick and come in and we do our best to take care of them always. Like that's what we do no matter what. But it's, you know, I worry about our ICU staff. I worry about our nurses. Some of the things that they've had to do and to see and to take care of and to deal with, you know, it's far more than they signed up for. It's really, it's been heavy.
Yeah, I imagine. So you said like the day to day, you're seeing people that have come in that have COVID or pregnant with it. You know, is generally everybody like coming out of it okay if they do get it? You know, has it changed as the vaccines rolled out? How are you seeing the evolution, I guess, of it?
So for the most part, you know, the good thing is that most people who get COVID are going to recover and do fine. When COVID first arrived in, you know, spring of 2020, the data in quotes that we had out of China was initially like, well, it's no big deal in pregnancy. They don't seem to do any worse. And every OBGYN on the planet was like, are you sure? Because pregnant people always do worse with viruses, right?
Yeah.
Pregnant people are immune compromised by the fact that they have this foreign body in them that their immune system is turned down. So viruses almost always hit pregnant women harder than a similarly aged woman with a similar health status who's not pregnant. And so we were all very skeptical of that initial kind of like the papers that came out. And we soon found that, in fact, pregnant women are at a increased risk for some really specific complications associated with COVID, the blood clotting issues, what we call like deep vein thrombosis, but also, you know, the placenta is an organ in pregnancy. And we have had, I personally had one patient, and this was pre-vaccine, who came, you know, and they were doing, of course, like all the precautions and all the right things, and she and her husband still got it.
Yeah.
But she was actually improved. Her clinical course, she was like 8, 9, 10 days into it, and she was over the shortness of breath. She never got hospitalized. You know, she really was, you know, feeling better and more energetic. And she called up the office one day. She goes, I'm just really not feeling her move. And so we said, of course, come right in. And she came in, and the fetal heart tracing that we do, it looked awful. It was showing obvious signs of distress. She was 34 weeks. So we just took her and we did an emergency C-section. I sent the placenta to pathology, and it was 75% necrosed. It was over
Oh, no.
The placenta had complete loss of blood flow to over 3/4 of it. And once our pathologist really started looking at the literature that comes out, this is something that we're seeing with COVID. So increased risk of stillbirth, increased risk of miscarriage with COVID has been one of the harder things to deal with, in addition to the really sick moms that we've had.
Wow. So what I'm hearing is the risk that COVID presents is much greater than any sort of risk that the vaccine
Ding, 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 ding.
presents. That's what I'm hearing. And,
You won.
And
Picking up what you're putting down, Doc.
gotcha. And I'm also hearing that it's safe.
Yes.
Doctors are saying it is.
Yes. So we have hundreds
at any
of thousands.
course of your pregnancy, fertility journey.
Yes, absolutely. If you're thinking about being pregnant first, second, third trimester, we have data. Again, hundreds of thousands of pregnant women have received the vaccine, and hundreds of thousands of women have become pregnant after receiving the vaccine at this point. We see no increased risk for miscarriage with the vaccine. We see no increased risk for any kind of what we call adverse perinatal events or bad things that can happen in pregnancy. We're not seeing that increased with the vaccination at all. We also have really amazing data that kiddos whose moms are vaccinated in all 3 trimesters during pregnancy are being born with antibodies. So
Wow.
those maternal antibodies are crossing the placenta, and you're providing protection to your kiddo that they're not going to be able to get for who knows how long, because the vaccine right now is approved for 5 and up, obviously, but that's 5 years away from a newborn.
They're
and
born
so-
with it.
Exactly.
And you
So
don't
they
have to put
that-
a shot.
Exactly. And if you breastfeed, it will continue to come through your breast milk. And so there's lots of great reasons to get vaccinated from COVID during pregnancy. So yes, we're a fan.
Yeah, good.
And while I have you, so kids
Yes.
getting vaccinated now,
Yes.
that's kind of the new thing.
Absolutely.
That is available to kids. And I
Yes.
know moms are maybe more apprehensive about their children than they are themselves, right?
Yes.
We're old, we've been through life,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
But you're talking about my little kid here now. What do you have to say to moms that might be hesitant about that?
So I'll start out with both of my kids are vaccinated. My daughter, she turned 12 in April of this year. So she was eligible this summer when it was approved for her age group. And my 9-year-old was in the Moderna study. So
Oh, cool.
I believe in it so much that I volunteered to make him a guinea pig.
Right.
So he got vaccinated as part of the expanded safety trial for Moderna this fall. So I was just so glad to know that he was vaccinated.
Yes.
Because, they're not requiring masks at school and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah. Boosters?
yes, boost up.
Boost
for
up?
sure. Yeah.
And when do you recommend that you get boosted?
Yeah, current recommendation, if it's been more than 6 months, if you got a Pfizer Moderna series, then you should get vaccinated. And this stands for pregnant women too. Pregnant women are eligible and recommended to be boosted. And if it's 2 months after, if you got the Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. This is why we wanted to have you. We wanted to kind of debunk some of these theories that people might be hearing because, like you said, they're getting it coming at them from different avenues, and they just need to hear the facts.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, we're so grateful you came. Thank you so much for the
again.
insight, the free medical advice.
Anytime.
I know.
So grateful to Baylor Scott and White for being
Can we ask you anytime we have questions or like our
Yeah.
listeners have questions,
Absolutely.
now that we have a friend that's an OBGYN.
Ask Dr. Palmer.
We'll ask Dr. Palmer. We can
Yeah.
make it a segment.
Absolutely. I'm
Okay,
sure.
good. I feel honored to have you in our little mom
Yes.
game circle now.
Thank you so much, Dr. Palmer. And thanks
You
to
guys.
Baylor Scott and White for being the official healthcare advisor of the Mom Game. We got to end the way we end every one of our shows. It's pretty cheesy, but you look into your camera, you throw up your peace signs, and we say, Mom Game out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Mom Game out.